Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Kirby Air Riders Rides of the Week. Sorry about the wait, I've just been busy covering recent announcements from Nintendo. There's been a lot of random Tuesday drops, but there's some interesting machines to show off in this video, so let's go ahead and check them out. So we're back in the garage, and there's a lot of really cool and interesting machines to cover this week. With the first one being a Hop Star based on Oatchi. This was made by Mr. Pretzel Roll, and this is really cute. I really like this design. It kind of looks like a small, condensed version of Oatchi. And I think the Hop Star is pretty fitting because of Oatchi's moveset, but this is really nice. And I feel like Pikmin 4 is definitely one of my favorite Pikmin games. I need to replay it at some point now that it has that hard mode-esque thing now. So next up is a Warp Star based on the mini Mario toys from the Mario vs. Donkey Kong series, and this design is also really cute. I really like how it recreates their design on the face of the Warp Star, and it also has a wind-up key very similar to how the mini Mario toys do. But the Mario vs. Donkey Kong series is very underrated, and I especially love the first game. It's kind of a continuation of DK94, and the remake is very good as well. I highly recommend the remake if you haven't played it already. And I know the other games are kind of divisive, but some of the Lemming-style games are actually kind of good, I would say. There are a couple of them that are hidden gems, even though some of them are kind of flawed, but I would say the series as a whole is pretty underrated, and I really like this machine. So the next machine is a Formula Star based on Spamton from Chapter 2 of Deltarune, and I really like this design. It's just pretty cool. I also like how it has 1997 written on the side as well. I definitely need to get around to playing more of Deltarune. I've only played Chapter 1 several years ago, so I think I should probably make it into a stream series. I could do several streams of it at some point. I've definitely gotten some requests to stream Deltarune, so I'll definitely have to get around to doing it at some point. But this machine is really cool. The next machine is a Shadow Star based on Nights into Dreams, and this one looks really nice. I really like the patterns here. And from what I've heard recently, Nights got into Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, which is pretty cool. And I'll have to get around to playing the Night series at some point. It definitely reminds me of Klonoa aesthetically, since that kind of released around the same time. I think Klonoa was 97, Nights was 96, so it kind of has some like similar vibes to it. So I'll have to get around to playing it at some point, because I like those old like mid to late 90s games, so this machine is pretty cool. So the next machine is a Tank Star based on the Mark 6 Iron Man suit, and this is really cool. It kind of takes me back to the time in the 2010s where I was really into the MCU, but I think the design of the suit was replicated really well here, and I think the Tank Star was a perfect fit, but this just looks really nice overall, and a really cool recreation. Ooh, ooh, ooh! Since our next machine is a Turbo Star based on Gwimbly from Smiling Friends, I would say the Gwimbly episode is definitely up there as one of my favorites. It's actually the episode that got me into the series. Since I watched it, thought it was hilarious, kind of binged through the rest of the Smiling Friends episodes and kept up with Season 2 while it was going at the time. And now, I would say I'm definitely a fan of Smiling Friends, but this machine looks really nice overall, and it definitely represents Gwimbly pretty well. But yeah. So the next machine is a Warp Star based on Hugh Morris from the Tomodachi Life Living the Dream Direct, specifically the North American version. I thought that was pretty interesting how they had different characters between the different directs, but I think Hugh Morris's design was recreated perfectly here, and I feel like recreating his design in the My Machine mode is perfect, since the customization in Living the Dream is actually kind of comparable to this. I think it's like even more in-depth in Living the Dream, but it's still kind of comparable, but I really like how this looks here, and I really like Hugh Morris. I want to see more like Hugh Morris recreations in different forms of media. Next up, we have another machine based on a character that I like, and it's a Shadow Star based on Count Bleck from Super Paper Mario. Count Bleck is an excellent character. I love how his tragic backstory was handled, and his character arc in general. He's definitely the highlight of Super Paper Mario alongside Dimentio and many of the other characters in that game. And definitely shows that the Paper Mario series is capable of creating some amazing characters. Next up, we have a Paper Star based on Mizzter Blizzard from Paper Mario Sticker Star, coincidentally another Paper Mario character with a tragic backstory. And even though I don't like Sticker Star, Mizzter Blizzard is one of the few characters from Sticker Star that was actually kind of interesting and is my favorite character from the game, since the only reason why he sided with Bowser and was fighting against Mario is because he didn't want to melt. He was really only doing it to survive, so it's kind of tragic in that sense, and is one of the few times Sticker Star actually did something kind of interesting with its story. And his design is also cute as well. Last, but certainly not least, we have a Warp Star based on the one meme based on the scene from Kirby Right Back Atcha, where Kirby falls into a pit. This one is really cool, and also kind of funny too. But there's a lot of detail that was put into this. I really like how they recreated kind of like the depth effect of like the pit here. It actually looks like Kirby is falling in, which looks really cool. But this is definitely very well made, and is also kind of funny as well. So anyways, that was this week's episode of Kirby Air Riders Rides of the Week. There were a lot of really cool machines shown off as usual, and as a reminder, if you want to submit your machines, I'll put a link to the Google form in the description and the pinned comment, and you could also submit them on my Discord server in the Skya channel as well. But thank you guys for watching this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Blue Sky if you want to. Stay perky!